All right, just had to wait for the for YouTube to. We already had 3 people. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody had a good week this week.
Hello, Mike. Happy Friday.
Not much.
What's up, bro, daddies?
Oh yeah, actually, the other night I went.
Got my coffee and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. The other night I ended up having to go 2.5 hours because there were a couple of stories where I really just went off on the writer, but ended up she basically used the wrong. She said the worst and best characters in Naruto, but in hindsight, she should have probably used the most hated and loved character.
Hey, Woody. Happy Friday.
Woody.
How are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Woody. And if you haven't already, guys, if you can like and share the stream, that would help out quite a bit.
I have a 6-letter word for hangman, if anyone's interested. It's I'm not creative this week. I just came up with a swear word. It's a slang word. It's not super bad swear word. It's a word that you won't like, but you've said it before.
Your brain just didn't feel like really getting all that deep creative.
I couldn't get creative, yeah, so I had to come up with just an expletive. We'll call it that.
All right. Well, I guess we'll probably see what it is then.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to mention, Batgoat?
Who's all here? I think we got Woody.
I think it's just the 3 of us right now.
Okay. No, I'm like I told you, a little bit of a busy week golfing, and I've got a lesson tomorrow, so I'm not really doing much. Tomorrow morning, I'll be headed out, and then at the end of the show, I've got some pictures. I've already loaded up on my photo thing, so I'll share some pictures of golfing this week. A few snapshots from golfing, some pretty pictures, and got a video of my grandson. So we'll do that at the end. Of course, I'll keep track of the Lowell's Trophy, and we have a 6-letter word for hangman.
Yeah. And just to let you guys know, you won't be hearing Chloe tonight, as my younger sister and her son went out of town for a couple days here as well. And my older sister took Chloe to her house. So we won't have. And then Woody's asking you a disc golf lesson.
Yes. Disc golf lesson. Yep. It's not as structured as ball golf, but yeah, there's PDGA and we have pros, and I'm paying for someone to make me better. Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I've spent over $1,000 on discs and bags and other equipment now, so I'm calling it disc golf. I'm not going to let people tell me my sport is frisbee golf when it's not.
Yeah. Well, considering how many discs have you actually lost in the lake?
In the water, I've probably lost 10 by now. That's $200 right there.
That can be get quite expensive out there, huh?
Yes, it does. So you're getting a little choppy. Am I chopping up on you here?
You did for a moment there.
Okay. Looks like it's better.
How am I now?
Good.
And you seem good too. You did seem to skip a beat for a moment there, but everything seemed to fix itself pretty quickly. So, all right. So yeah, we're at 4 minutes now. So, let's see.
If you weren't invested in a snorkel, I have a thing. I'll be right back, Mike. I'll be back in 10 seconds. I'm going to grab something out of my car.
All right. Well, we're coming up on 4 minutes, so since we do have a bit of a small party here, I might go ahead and get started at the 5-minute mark. Well, I guess after Batgoat gets back and does whatever he's gonna do. So, just as a reminder to you guys, we're finishing up January 1939 this week. We're gonna be looking at Jumbo Comics Volume 1, Number 6 from Fiction House Publications, which means, of course, be looking at a couple of our favorite girls, Sheena and Gilda Gay.
Gilda Gay, that's my girl. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing Higher Love tonight. Can you see? Higher Love.
Higher Love?
This is the place in Michigan I go to get my medicine.
Okay.
Here's where I went to. I invested money in this, which is made by Dynamic Disc. It's a real disc maker. And it's heavy, it's metal. And it extends. Oh, wow. I think this one goes to 14 feet. So you see what's on the end there? So I can reach this in the water and pick up my disc, or way up in the trees. I haven't had to use it yet, but I think it was like 10 or $11. Totally worth it.
Well, at least you may not lose as many discs then if you use that.
I know that I have it, which is nice. I put one in the drink 2 days ago, but it was 2 feet off the shore, so I was able to pull off my socks and wade in and go get it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, then of course Dr. Haywood, and then whatever other stuff we might be able to find ourselves getting into. So we're already coming up on 6 minutes now. Now we do have a little bit of a party here going.
6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on.
So I guess we can go ahead and get started then.
Excuse me, Dougie.
Oh,
Excuse me, Dougie Fresh. I'm singing a rap song now that was based off that.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over and get over to the comic then. Where we can...
Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh.
All right. So
Now that song's in my head. The Inspector Gadget theme.
Yeah.
It's a good one, though. You know what, Woody? I got this at the big warehouse in Minneapolis called Gotta Go Throw, specifically to grab this. They're looking to getting you something like that. Or you could check it out online, gottagothrow.com.
All right. So this cover date, of course, cover date February 1939, on sale date. I'm gonna just go do a quick little reminder for somebody, and then we'll get started. Just
pull things off loose with it too. I think it's gonna come in handy.
Yeah. Just sending a little reminder to RJ that I'm getting started on the comic now, because I know he likes Sheena quite a bit as well. So
True.
All right. Where did you get that thing? Oh, okay. That's what you were responding to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, anyways, gotta go throw. All right. So of course here's the cover right here. Jumbo Comics, number 6, February is the cover date. On sale date, as you guys know, I usually measure it out by on sale date. Sultan of the West, Hawk of the Sea, and then down here you see Sheena, Dr. Hayward. You know, we get the color. You get the colored covers. You know, big pages, big pictures, big type, easy to read. That's it. Look at that. Boy, was that cop sore. It's a good thing he doesn't know where we're hiding. Whoops. There's the little Chauncey Sylvester. Here's one for his kisser.
Well, I think the cop does know where you're hiding.
And he doesn't look too happy. You see the
No, I think they hit him in the head with a snowball. They're in trouble. They're in Dutch.
Yeah. Here's this. Big prizes. That bite. Of course, we'll probably go back through we'll come back through some of this. Gonna go to our features first, and then we might hit up some of these as we auto starts on parade. Modern Plains. We'll probably look at that a little bit later. Heroes of Sport with Tom Swift. These facts by George. By George! Little fun. The Count of Monte Cristo.
Puzzle Fun. PHUN. Fun.
Yep. And here we go. Here we
There's
go.
Gilda.
Gilda Gay, the modern girl.
That's our gal.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, and I'd better.
That's pretty good. I can read that. That's still good.
Yeah, I usually try to. I had to remind myself right there to zoom
Sure.
in.
That's good. It's good print though. I can read that.
Yeah, it's not like a couple weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago, that was bad news. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll go in for a dip. Coming, Gilda? No, and you better not go in either. That sign says no swimming. That who's going to let a little thing like a sign keep me from going for a swim? Boy, the water's swell. Oh, Monty, you'd better come out. The sheriff is coming. Say, what's the idea? Can't you read the sign? Sure, but who's fishing? Who's fishing? Okay. Don't know if I really get that, but apparently there's no swimming because of fishing. He's wearing a fishing outfit. Oh, here we go again. Here, let's see. Do you know Gilda? We've known each other for a long time.
I'll stop you right there. I think he's trying to get some.
Oh, that guy right there who I just.
Yep. She's going to shoot him down.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We certainly have, Monty. Don't you think it's about time we get married? Yes, you're going. Yes, you're right. But who'll have us? You get the joke there, Batgoat?
No.
I think his thoughts were they should marry each other.
Mm-hmm.
Her thoughts are they should get married, but to other people.
Okay. Yep. That sounds like Gilda. I love it. That's funny.
I picked that up right away.
That's good.
Gilda gags. Let's see. Absence. May the heart grow fonder. Okay, they spelled May wrong because they got MAE instead of, which is the name May.
No, make. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's an old saying.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Peroxide makes a blonde glow blonder. Or grow blonder.
Makes a blonde grow blonder. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's 1939. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good. So back in 39, that's making fun of kind of ditzy, society girls that dyeing their hair. Love it.
Come back. No. Short. Here we go. Here's our other favorite gal.
Sheena.
Sheena the jungle. Anybody new join in yet? No. Well, somebody I guess we got another like, and somebody did pop in there.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Oh, there we go. Blonde.
Hey, all right, Critical.
Hey, RJ. Blonde, so she can be
Blonde as she can be.
Blonde as she can be. Yeah.
He heard the peroxide joke.
Yeah. Going back to the other page there. Let me see. Let me just double check. Make sure we're at right. Yeah, 200. Okay. 100 magnification. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle by W. Morgan Thomas, better known to most fans as Will Eisner, as in the Eisner Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Sheena pauses in her trek to the jungle at the sight of a strange black puddle. So, Batgoat, you have any idea? Can you remember what that black puddle might be?
Oh, it's oil, right? Or were they looking? Maybe
Yeah, I
trying to
believe
find
it was
oil there.
Yeah, I
Okay,
believe
yeah.
it was oil. Slowly, the Jungle Queen kneels to scrutinize the pond. This is not water. It smells very strange.
It's peroxide. Go for a dip.
Then you'll probably have something happen to her similar to those who were licking the radium.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would. I suppose that would be bad.
Yeah. Deftly, Sheena makes a bag from a leaf and fills it with the strange black liquid. While elsewhere in the jungle, come on, fella, you're coming back with us. I'm not going anywhere. What's the meaning of all this? Shut up and come with us. If you know what's good for you. I'm boss in these parts. We'll see about that. One side or I'll is seized from behind. Knocked him out cold. What'll we do now? Let him lay there. The animals will take care of him.
Ooh.
So they're leaving him to be food for the animals, huh?
Bad dudes.
Uh-huh. When Bob resisted Sandy and his gang, he was struck from behind and left to the mercy of the prowling beast of the jungle. And even though it's in black and white, a little hard to tell at times, looks like a leopard right there.
A leopard, maybe with the spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something, some kind of
And that's
cat.
either a branch or a snake up top there.
I think it's a branch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the tree on the left side.
Yeah. The sharp, quivering nostrils of the jungle killer dilate the scent of human prey. Look at those eyes right there. You see, look at those. You see those eyes in the shadow there,
peering out of the dark.
That's got to be kind of menacing, huh?
Yeah, that's that creepy look. You never want to see that.
Yeah. The beast approaches the dazed Bob, and Sheena appears. Her flashing knife poised, Sheena pounces on the animal. Look at that. I guess you don't want to mess with Sheena, do you? Look at that.
No.
She's coming up from behind. The
Yeah.
angle look like she's gonna. It looks like she's gonna stick him and stick that cap right in its neck.
That's diving out of the tree on him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. She's poised to really get to him too. See that picture right there? She's got the knife overhead
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, ready to strike.
With the first onslaught, the sinewy leopard throws off its assailant and turns to attack.
Hey, Chad, good to see you. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, Chad. Hopefully you'll be able to get into this a bit. Yeah. So the strange black liquid becomes a handy weapon. Well, yeah, thick black oil usually will become because it's not meant for human consumption in any form. Whether
No, oil in the face is bad. That'll
yeah,
take you out of the fight.
that's probably not much better than having, let's say, a fireball stuck in your face, thrown in your face. Old wrestling reference, of course.
Okay.
With the newly acquired advantage, Sheena leaps to the kill, her white teeth bared and her eyes blazing with fury. Now, I've heard this before. Back on it, maybe you have too. Sometimes, like when you're dealing with wild animals, particularly with bears, I've heard the expression something like "grin a bear down."
Grin and bear it.
No, grin a bear down. You know, I've heard of some people saying, you can maybe
Stare down a bear, maybe.
like
I've never heard that, but okay.
thought I've heard it before, but I could be wrong. Thought I've heard it before though, but anyway, she then turns to Bob, who is slowly returning to consciousness. He examines the queer black liquid, um, and we know what queer meant back in these days.
Strange, out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Sheena, where did you get this stuff? Yonder, not far from this place, Bob. You've discovered oil. By accident, Sheena has discovered a strange black liquid which Bob realized was oil. They return to the place of discovery. So that strange little black pool, I guess, is what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
With the experienced eye of a civil engineer and scientist, Bob surveys the situation. Sheena, this land is filled with valuable oil. That is why those men wish to drive the tribe away. Then we must warn the chief. Those white men are evil and would rob them. Let us go. By nightfall, Sheena and Bob reach the entrance of the caves. Quickly, they are ushered um, into the chief's residence or presence. In the language of the tribe, Sheena relates all that Bob has told her, that the white strangers are evil ones. Hear me, O tribesmen. We must drive these thieves from our lands. Come. What?
RJ just made it funny.
RJ just made it funny?
Yeah.
Let's see what he had to say here. The chimp's oil the chimp's oil said, Sheena, move up on out of here. They said California is the place you ought to be. Oh, I get it. I get it. It's a Beverly Hillbillies reference.
You see what he did there? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And he gets a Lulz point, doesn't he?
He did. He sure did. That was That was the first score.
And I think that's his own personal first score too.
Might be.
With Bob and Sheena as their leaders, the warriors march in battle array to their valley. In battle, oh, okay, I'm sorry. With Bob and Sheena as their leaders, the warriors march in battle array to their valley. So battle array. So Batgoat, you want to explain to everybody? I think I already know what battle array is, but would you like
Yeah, it
to?
means in formation. They're
Oh,
marching in formation or battle array. They're set up to. They're getting ready to
oh
go
yeah,
fight.
that's what it is. I actually thought it was more raiment, but like clothing. But you're right. It probably is array like a formation or something like that.
Correct. How? Yeah. Yeah. You can't just have. If you got 5,000 guys diddly bopping every which way they want it, you're not a real effective fighting force.
Yeah. Suddenly, out of the sky, a plane roars to a landing on the sluggish jungle river. There's a plane, Batgoat.
Mm-hmm.
One of your areas of expertise. Looks like
Float
some
plane.
kind of seaplane right there.
Uh huh. Float plane. Yep.
A cry of terror rises from the warriors who run frantically into the jungle. Sheena is puzzled. Don't be alarmed, Sheena. It is nothing but an airplane, a man-made bird. It is not a monster. Come back. Oh wow, that's a nice way of explaining to her what it is. That's a pretty cool way of a man-made bird. It is not a monster. Come back.
She was scared of the plane. Yeah.
Well, being in the jungle for as long as she was, she's probably never seen
Mm-hmm.
a plane before, and it probably does.
Mm-hmm.
Seem, and if you think
Yeah.
about it, somebody who's been isolated in a jungle, they see this flying contraption come through, and of course they're going to think it's a monster because it can do something that they can't, right?
Well, it's just it doesn't make sense. It's like in the Pacific Islands when people started the English started exploring islands where I don't know which one it was, that famous story of the ship was coming in. You could see it approaching for a day or two, and all the villagers, the people on that island, just didn't see it. They refused. Their brains just would not let them see the ship because they couldn't comprehend it. So the priest or one of the guys was like, "Why don't you see this? Don't you see this?" And everyone else was going, "What?" The brain can't comprehend stuff like that.
Hmm. Yep. Okay. I've got okay the signal. So I did have the signal icon up there for a moment, um, but it disappeared. So
Okay,
we're okay. It looks like all right.
looks good.
The warriors have been frightened away. It looks as if we must drive Sandy and his gang off ourselves. All right, and I guess let me just I guess because I didn't see any indication. Let me
This is going to be continued.
yeah, it's probably going to be continued in the next issue. Which, but
That's
they don't
fine.
say anything about it down here. But then
Okay.
again, I get. But then when I saw the reference earlier, like in on the Mike's Amazing World of Comics page, they did say that this is only 3 pages, and I think
Okay.
he did.
Well, so we're still on the oil adventure with the bad guys
Yeah,
trying to
and
come
you
in
have
and
to
scare them
remember
out of the
too.
valley.
Back in these days, with some of these stories, they were they were formatted more serially as opposed to episodically, which
Mm-hmm.
means that the story would go over um, a number of different issues.
Mm-hmm.
So the story would play out over a number of different issues. So, all right, so Just Laughs by Robert Kane, aka Bob Kane, one of the two creators of Batman. Which we might come back to that. The X-Files in action. Here we go. And here's our other main feature, The
Dr.
Diary of
Hayward.
Dr. Hayward by Kurt Davis, a.k.a. Jack Kirby. Let me just make it bigger again, and then we'll get right into it. Let's see. So, all right. Well, just at the 30-minute mark here. Okay. All right. So here we go. What a fine mess we've gotten ourselves into. Silly to have trusted Ali Pasha so blindly. Yeah, yes, Stuart. But who would have thought he was such a scoundrel? We've got to think of a way out of this. Our first move is to observe how many guards he has posted. Here's one. The two of us can tackle. The two of us can tackle him. They surprise the guard. Finish him before we're heard. That's it. That did it. Right. Our guests, they good fighters. Too good, me think. Now, Dr. Hayward and Mr. Stewart, maybe we show you how foolish you be. Remember, we've got you outnumbered. 50 don't waste your time. It make only matters worse. For you understand? For you. Understand? While Dr. Hayward and Stuart Taylor are away, Laura sleeps fitfully. Fitfully. Suddenly, two silent shadows appear at the window. Laura stirs.
I mean, she's not having a good night's sleep. She's tossing and turning. She's sleeping fitfully.
Okay. Like almost like she's having a fit in her sleep, maybe.
Right? Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that would seem to be the context clue right there. Huh. What was that? I'm sure I heard some sound like scraping. There's no one here. Guess I've got the jitters. It's so lonely. I can't seem to fall asleep. I've I've a strange feeling that someone's present. Heavens, it's Ali Pasha! What are you doing here? Yeah, not. I'm sure even back then, going into a sleeping woman's bedroom unannounced, probably not considered very kosher.
No, shouldn't do that. That's not. No, that's not a good thing to do.
That's something that's not tolerated today. That wasn't tolerated back then either.
Unless you're a Casanova.
Yeah.
He snuck into the ladies' bedrooms.
Attracted by the sounds of voices, Mrs. 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 Creepit. Attracted by the sounds of voices, Miss Creepit, the housekeeper, listens outside the partly open door. Now, sweet lips, you mustn't be so afraid of me. Don't you? Don't you dare touch me! You cowardly swine! Where's Stewart and Dr. Hayward?
Slap.
Ali Pasha is maddened by the rebuke. His eyes blaze into Laura's, and soon she falls a victim to his hypnotic glare. I, I won't stand for such treatment from a cheat a sheet. Take
Shit.
her to the car. Yeah, I've seen that word before, but I don't. Batgo? Do you know what a cheat is? CHIT?
Chit. A chit is what I know, like from the military. You write something, you write down something on a chit, little piece of paper, and you give that to someone. A chit. But I don't know like how it fits to being a girl.
Yeah,
That's weird. I've never heard that.
yeah, yeah. I hadn't. I mean, I've actually seen that particular word before. Um,
Like I said, a chit is a small receipt. You get a chit for something.
yeah, I've seen that
Marker
word
of debt.
before,
Thank
like,
you, Chris.
on word on.
RJ just said right there, it's an IOU, a marker of debt. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right. Anyways, just didn't realize I still had the Facebook page open. That when I sent RJ the message. But let's see. So he was commenting on it. So I ain't much on Casanova. It's on you, a marker of debt.
An IOU.
It's an IOU.
Mhm.
Yeah, never heard it used to refer to a girl either.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna. Okay, I got the signal icon again, so I'm gonna.
Looks all right though. You're not pausing.
All right, just as a precaution, though, I usually will cut away real quick to just get the icon to disappear. So now, back to it. And apparently, he had some
Shit
comments
of a
there.
girl. Okay. RJ just explained it. That's very cool. Thank
Oh,
you.
a young woman regarded with disapproval for her immorality or lack of respect. A mere chit of a girl.
That makes sense.
It's actually an archaic usage. Ah, okay.
Very cool. Thank you.
I mean, in that particular case, yeah, it wouldn't sound like.
Totally fits. Makes sense. You know.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Oh yeah. The lovely lady will learn to appreciate my great charms. By Allah. Hello, police. Laura Rogers has been kidnapped by two strange men. They've taken the North Road. In a hypnotic trance, Laura is being abducted by Ali Pashi. Laura's housekeeper calls the police as soon as they leave. Okay, so I thought that looked like more like Dr. Hayward to me, but
Those are cops.
oh, okay. Listen, that's our call. Let's go. All right. Attention, car 15, Laura Rogers. Kidnapped 2 men, North Road. Oh, listen, that's our call. Let's go. Kidnapping, huh? If we get those rats, they'll find that they've chewed off too big a piece. Kind of like saying you've chewed off more than you can eat.
Bit off more than you can chew. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you said it, Joe. We'll take care of them. Meanwhile, Ali Pasha speeds on. He with Laura in her oh he with Laura in her hypnotic state. I don't think we'll be troubled much by the police. He's thinking that he'll probably in a hypnotic state will get them to say no. I went with them willingly. Well, well, what do we have here? It's the state police. I won't waste much time with them. I can't. Oh, over to the side, buddy. I want to have a little chat with you. Um, Say, what makes you guys think you own the road? Burning up the highway like a greased streak. That's a bit of an older term too. Greased streak usually refers to a racing term, I believe.
Like Greased Lightning
Uh huh.
from the movie Grease.
Yep. Speeding? Oh well, officer. You see, my friend is ill. Don't give me that, pal. It's an old gag with whiskers on it. I'm going to give what the hold 'em, Pete. I want to look over the occupants of that car. Now going back to something he said there, old gag with whiskers on it. What do you think that means, Batgoat?
Just that he's saying, I've heard that line for
Like
a
just
long
so
time
many,
now.
yeah.
It's really old.
Ah, Laura Rogers. Hey, you're the ones where uh, oh, uh, Laura Rogers. You're the ones we're looking for. Kidnapping, huh? Step out of the car. Yeah, yes, Mr. Ali Pashi is my friend. He is only trying to help me, gentlemen. There, you see, officers, you must not judge too quickly, but I'll forgive you. What? What? I don't get this. Well, I guess it's okay, Miss Rogers, if you say so. See, almost wonderful weapon, this hypnotism. Ha 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 ha. And now to continue our interrupted journey, Laura. Oh, there was no tail on it. That's why. Okay, so that was actually him saying something, I guess. Now to continue our interrupted journey, Laura. I said that more in the narrator's voice, thinking that it was a narration, but I think it was actually. Meanwhile, Dr. Hayward and Stuart Taylor, still heavily guarded, contemplate their fate. Let's see. Ali Pasha is a clever rascal, but we must forestall his maniacal lust for power. We must and we will. Ah, I trust that my two guests have had good care in my absence. Now I will see whether or not you will talk. Follow me, please. I have a I have a plan that will loosen your tongues. We will never help you. We will never we will never help you with your diabolical scheme. That's our final word. We shall see. But first, allow me to present my special guest. Oh, look at that. It looks like they got her tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Got her tied up to a chair in some kind of unique way there. I am sure that she will change your stubborn attitude. Enter. Gad! It's Laura! Strapped to that infernal machine. You fiend! You can't do this! But Ali Pasha releases a spring that sets the great knife swinging. Dr. Hayward and Stewart are aghast.
One of those old like pendulum death machines
Yeah,
keeps getting
pendulum
lower and
blade.
lower, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them in a number of cartoons too, where
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I think of like Tom and Jerry in particular.
Uh-huh. Pit and the Pendulum, famous Poe story. Edgar Allan Poe
Yeah.
story.
You murderer, have you no mercy? She'll be sliced in two.
That's kind of the idea.
Yeah, and I think Ali Pasha is going to confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
Most assuredly, she will, if you do not come to your senses and help me. Inch by inch, that knife will move closer and closer until I know. Until now, will you agree? Surely for the life of or surely for the life of your beloved Laura, that is not asking for too much.
It is asking too much, and stop calling me Shirley. You like that?
Yeah.
I knew you'd get it.
Let's see. Numbed with horror, their faces streaming cold, sweat. Dr. Hayward and Stewart watch the deadly knife swing nearer. Oh, all right, I will, but stop it. Stop that horrible knife in heaven's name. All right, and that's the end of that, or that's the end of that story for now.
That's definitely a cliffhanger, though, right?
Yep,
Yeah, it's it,
a
right.
pretty good one
Look,
too.
look at what he just did. Look at what he just wrote. That's pretty funny.
Sliced in two and not all at once.
That's
No,
funny.
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Um, I'm gonna step away from the camera for a moment. I'll be right back. So it might be a good time, Batgoat, to start the guesses on the word of the night.
I do have a 6-letter word
I'll
for
be right
everyone.
back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I have a 6-letter word. It's not a real word, and I can't really give you a clue other than it's an expletive. I didn't really put much into it. It's just a bad word about the subject that we always use. So I'll take some guesses on that. And Okay. How about barbers? You have to take your hat off to them. Someone's sirens. Probably a medical. Okay. Dad jokes. Continuing. Did you hear about the surgeon who enjoyed performing quick surgeries on insects? He did one on the fly. The past, the present, and the future walked into a bar. It was tense. There's one thing I can't deal with, and that's a deck of cards that's glued together. Six letters. Letter E. Letter E came up. All right. How were the dad jokes? Were they bad as always? E is a miss, unfortunately. And I'm not hearing anything, so I'll assume they are bad, and I'll keep going with them. I did like the past, the present, and the future. Walk into a bar, it was tense. That is funny. I sold our vacuum cleaner. It was just gathering dust. I searched for a lighter on Amazon, but all I could find was 6,000 matches. That's not funny. Why am I laughing? What did the evil chicken lay? Deviled eggs. I was entertaining around with bad dad jokes.
Yeah, I heard some of them, and I was just doing a couple little things.
That's great to have that tab open when I don't know what to do. I just start reading dad jokes.
Yep. All right, so we got through the main feature, so we'll probably just...
high quality selection. Batgoat. All right, thanks, buddy.
So we're at like 52, coming on 53 minutes, so we still got plenty of time. So probably hit a few short. We'll start with Wilton of the West here, and then cycle around.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Wilton of the West, by Fred Sands here, doing a little Western story. So. All right, so here we go. What's that you said about Fleetfoot, Sheriff? What's the matter? Are you ill? Someone attacked me, and now Fleetfoot's go good. Hey there, Snorty. Come out here. Snorty? I wonder if he's any relation to Shorty.
From Speed?
Yeah, not Speed. Slam.
Slam.
Kent and Umbre snooze peaceful without you bellowing like a lost steer. Consarn it. Here, hey, who's consarn it? Batgoat, you want to explain that one?
Which is an old way of trying to swear or do an expletive without really swearing, right? Mm-hmm. Like gosh darn it is just a consarn. It's like an easier gosh darn it. Am I right?
Right. That's what I would say too. Hurry, Snort. Now lend a hand with the sheriff. Well, I'll be what's ailing him. Don't talk so much. Help me get him upstairs. Easy now. I'm leaving the sheriff with you, Snorty. Take good care of him till I return. I'll have him right side up in 2 shakes. Trust me, Wilton. So someone has beat up the sheriff and released Fleetfoot. Now I know who shot that ringed arrow at me. I'm going to the bottom of this, and when I do, whoa, Ace, that looks like a riderless mount yonder. Why, this horse is one of my own. What's he doing here? Doing away from the ranch, saddled and no rider. Wilton of the West here.
Will Wheaton.
Oh boy.
That's just from Family Guy. It's the way
Yeah.
Stewie pronounces Will
Well-
Wheaton. Will Wheaton.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Will Wheaton's another like kind of SG.
I know we don't have to talk about him. We don't have to talk about him. I just wanted to say the name like Stewie does.
All right. While searching for the mysterious assassin who shot a ringed arrow at him, Wilton found one of his own horses. Plenty of fresh tracks, all useless. Every trail goes around in circles. It's clever backtracking by someone. No use wasting my time. Guess I'll go back home. Wonder how the sheriff is. Here's Snorty. I'll ask him. Oh, the old buzzards won't stay in bed like he's supposed to do. Ha ha, what a nurse you are. Well, you old dilute. How are you feeling today? Fine. That's thanks to you, Wilton. By the way, how do you happen to get this mighty queer looking arrow? And we know what queer is. We've been talking a lot
Strange.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That that's just an old relic I found about the ranch. Yes, I just found it here on the ranch. Outside, the sound of horses' hoofs announced the coming of a rider. Mr. Wilton, Mr. Wilton, I found one of your movie guests out in the sagebrush dead. What? Bring him in, Rusty.
Hey, May. Good to see you. Happy Friday.
Hey, May. Thanks for popping in. And I do thank you guys for the likes and shares. See if we can get some more friendly people in here, of course. Yeah. Let's see that. Okay.
May said, congrats on 147 subs.
Yeah, that's a high for me. That's why the past couple weeks we've been going back and forth between 146 and 147.
Nice.
But that's a high. That's still a high for me now. I'm coming close to 150 there. 3 more, and I'll be at 150. Let's see. A writer has informed Wilton that he has picked up a dead man on the prairie near the ranch. Put the body on the bed, Rusty.
This comic is Wheaton of the West, right?
Wilton of the West.
Wheaton. See what I did to myself? Yeah. It's Wilton of the West.
Technically Wilton of the West, but Batgoat is being funny and saying Wheaton of the West as in Wilton.
So I did, yeah. And what are we under? The which comic book?
Okay, the name of the comic book is Jumbo Comic, Volume 1, Number 6, from Fiction
Jum,
House Publishing.
Jumbo Comics. All right.
Um, I found him. I found him lying like that, face down, his horse gone, and no tracks. No tracks. Eh? Whoever shot that arrow must have been an expert shot. Probably shot from a great distance. What do you think, Wiley? That man, sheriff, killed Jeffrey Parker, and as far as I'm concerned, he as far as I'm concerned, he deserved what he got. Wow, Wiley, that don't sound much like you at all. Never knew you to pack a grudge for long. Pack a grudge. What do you think that phrase means?
I think that people still say that. Carry a grudge. That people still use that
Or
enough.
today,
Carry a grudge.
would you say that it compares? What? How would we say that today?
I'd still carry a grudge. Have a beef with someone. Like you don't want to let something
What
go.
about hold a grudge?
Hold a grudge. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Same.
today we'd say hold a grudge,
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have now. He and I didn't like each other. That's all.
Hold a grudge. Yes. Would he confirm that? Okay.
Well, that's your own business. By the way, just for the record, you'll have to account for your time these past few days. Why do you think? Why do you think he'll have to account for backup? Why do you think he'll have to account for his time over the past few days?
Which one?
Well, he was just saying that why. So that last statement was in that last thing there. Well, that's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because he's all pissed, and the one guy got shot in the back, right?
Mm-hmm. And if they've had some kind of bad history,
Beef going on, yeah, yeah.
you know,
Doesn't look good for him.
That might be motive for murder, right?
Sure.
So he's got to account for it to show him that, hey, no, I didn't actually murder the guy.
Check your alibi.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here's Marcia. Hello, Marcia. Won't you please come in? The sheriff here wants to talk to you. Why? Why, of course, Wiley. Would, um, would you please tell Sheriff Saunders all you know about my whereabouts the past 2 days? Well, I haven't seen you, Wiley, since the archery contest. And oh yes, the night of the party, you left for about 2 hours. Why? Is there anything wrong? Hmm. My guess is he may not have been expecting uh uh a murder, ma'am. Wiley Wilton, that was the night Fleetfoot escaped.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Got a little hole there in the story.
Uh-huh.
Little time.
Let's see how he reacts. Why do you ask me all these questions? What do you mean? Are you accusing Wiley of the murder of Jeffrey? I ain't accusing yet. Wiley and I have been hardeners a long time, and I ain't forgetting it. But there's a heap of damaging evidence again him. Wilton's been acting mighty queer lately.
Weird.
As we all know. It's sulfur and molasses he needs, not jail. Hey, you can't do this. Okay. I don't blame you, old timer. But until I prove myself innocent, we'll be enemies. I'm sorry, kid. That's the way it's gotta be. And now you want me to go to jail, huh? I could resist arrest, you know. That's why I pack a gun. Later that night, Wiley paces his cell impatiently. Darn if I could lay my hands on that Injun. I want to ask a few things. Yeah, well, talking like that is,
It's not going to help his case, is it?
yeah.
Doesn't sound real rational and cool.
Uh-huh. Yep. Who's that? Someone prowling outside my cell window? Marcia, what are you doing here? Why two horses? I'm going to help you escape. Step back, hurry. Trying to stout, tying a stout rope to the bars, Marcia succeeds in freeing Wilton. I'm sure you've seen that in movies and cartoons before, haven't you, Batgoat?
Yeah, they tie the rope to the
bars and then just
the bars.
The horses just yank it off.
Yeah, that's an old one.
That's
cliche. I hate saying the word trope. It's so millennial, and no one said it 7 years ago.
Well, I mean, what would you called it back then?
Cliche. It's always been a cliche, and that word still works.
Yeah. Thanks, Marcia. So long. I'll be back. The noise must have awakened the sheriff. Hey! What's going on here? Oh, hello, Marcia. So Wilton has escaped. I'll not ask how, but it is my duty as sheriff to organize a posse to hunt down Wiley, and that's what I'm going to do. It almost seems like a bit of a mixed message here. Is she helping him is she helping Wiley because she believes he's innocent, or is she trying to set him up?
Don't know.
Yeah, you almost get kind of, in some of this stuff, in some of the foreshadowing, whatever, you just seems like there's some, I don't know, something a bit askew, or as we've been using the term lately, something a little queer here.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the last of that story for now. Until the next
Wheaton of the West.
Yeah.
Sorry. Say cool it. Cool.
Jumbo Jim's prize party, so we'll just. And I know we're already past the hour mark, so but
at 1:10, but you're doing good.
Yeah. So as I said, we'll cycle around and see what other things.
I'm gonna make a drink, so I'll mute and just turn my computer.
Oh, hey, Batgoat! Before you do that,
yeah, all right.
Here's one of your favorite.
Get my pupils. Look how clear the print is. Oops. It looks really good. You go bigger.
Went the wrong way. I actually downgraded.
Yeah. Look at this clear print. Now I haven't seen this before. They're selling you phones.
Yeah, maybe it's a new ad page they came up with. Blank cartridge.
89 cents for electric phones. Ooh.
So you want to punch that into the inflation calculator to see what we
89
got?
cents.
Remember, this
See.
January of 1939. This was
$18.51.
$18. So it went. So those two phones went from 89 cents. I mean, think about that. That's what, 3/4 a dime.
I'd say that's a kid's allowance for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's more than allowance. $18. That's like a month's allowance for them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know.
And then there's the blank cartridge pistol right there for $1 or 50 cents.
Midget pocket radio for $1.
Yeah. A world mic. And you notice they're spelling it more like my name as opposed
Yeah.
Now, in that particular case, though, it should be MIC, right?
Yep.
Crystal radio.
And then the chameleon they send you through the mail.
Oh, look at this. Jiu-jitsu.
30-cent instruction booklet.
Yeah, 30-cent instruction. To learn jiu-jitsu, buy a book.
That's good.
But that was kind of popular too back in the the golden age too. You'd have like some of those self-defense books where you'd have like jiu-jitsu, karate, and you'd mail them the money and then they'd send you the book.
There was the what was his name? The dude. There was always a picture of the guy, and there would be some dude. Are you a 98-pound Winkley? And there would be some dude kicking sand on the girl's face when they're at the beach. So it was like right into Mr. Atlas and learn how to lift weights and get big, or something like that.
Yeah,
98-pound weakling, and they would get sand kicked in their face.
Well, it kind of reminds and we'll probably get into this sometime down the road. One of the Golden Age DC heroes, the Golden Age Atom, was kind of like that. He was initially kind of a smallish guy. I think he was only like 5'1", 5'2", or something like that. But he was trained by Joe Morgan in that universe, who also trained Wildcat Ted Grant, taught him the science of boxing, as it were.
Pugilism.
And he ended up becoming the superhero. Golden Age, Al Pratt is who I'm talking about, of course. The Golden Age Atom.
Okay. Look at the glider skates. Woody and I like those too, down at the bottom. Real fun with these glider skates. 79 cents. Ski, skate, glide, slide.
Which they probably, which of course, since this was still in the middle of winter, which probably quite a throw your voice. Look at all that. And at the beautiful blonde wigs, as opposed to getting the peroxide, right?
And there's my pea shooter, or the spud gun.
Oh, look at that! Look
at
that! Movie projector in 5 films, only 98 cents. Show your own movies. Popeye Western Comics serials.
Now that's roughly $20. Now that'd be a good deal. If I was a kid, I'd want to save up for that over the jiu-jitsu book. Look at that. That's a projector with movies. Heck yeah. And the portable typewriter, we figure weighs
and you had
12 pounds.
It's kind of funny though, because Popeye, as you know, because we talked about this too, Popeye was aside from being, of course, he had his own strips and his own strips in the newspapers, part of the King Feature Syndicate family.
King Features, yeah.
His comic books were done by David McKay publications. We talk about a lot. Of course, those are the comics that we can't seem to find and read for ourselves, unfortunately. So, there we go. So, and I know you wanted to go grab a drink
Yeah. So I'm just going to mute.
And so now we'll, of course, recycle around here and see what we can find. Or some other stuff to. Big prizes we were looking at earlier. Tears of Tom and Cheryl. Off to the Sea. Uncle Otto. Now here's more of a visual gag strip right here. Yeah, well, like enlarge that a bit so everybody can see it a little better. Help! And there's a lifeguard. Splash. Look at that. Of course, this is more visual gag stuff right here with Uncle Otto. And then we have, of course, Stars on Parade as well by Laura Lane, not to be confused with Lois Lane. Let's see what we got here. Constance Bennett. You back, Batgoat?
I am.
All right. Well, you got right back just in time for the Stars on
I heard
Parade.
what you're saying. I heard what you're saying. Go for it.
Constance Bennett was sent a letter by a New York firm to Hollywood while she was in New York. The letter was forwarded to New York. It reached the city a few hours after she left New York to return to the Pacific Coast. It was then sent back to Hollywood, but Connie stayed in Hollywood one evening and then returned to New York. The letter again reached Hollywood too late, spelling the word too wrong, and was sent back to New York. Finally, after 12,000 miles, she received it.
Boy, a lot of running around there, huh?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, we got to reach this girl. Send that letter to New York. Oh, she's not in New York anymore. Send it back to L.A. Oh, she's not in L.A. now. Oh, send it back to New York.
That's a real life sitcom type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a comedy of errors right there.
That's funny.
Let's see. All right, if I'm reading this right, I'm reading the cursive here right a little bit. Alice Faye.
Alice Faye, it looks like, yes.
Yeah. Alice Faye is being groomed.
Back when groomed was an okay word to say.
Right, because, grooming, the term groom in this case means to kind of like prepare for, mentor kind of thing.
Sure, correct, yeah.
Of course, today it has kind of a bit of a nastier meaning because you're being prepared for something that is not considered considered something for, but in this case it was used more appropriately.
Correct.
Is being groomed for dramatic roles. Rumor has it that she is to be cast in the parts created for the late Jean Harlow. According to this is from 937. Well, so Jean Harlow, huh?
Jean Harlow was already dead by 1939, huh? Okay.
Well, let's take it. I can look that up real quick.
Yeah, I don't even have my my regular search page open. But if you're doing that,
yeah, I can quickly take a look at that.
Then I'll drink my lemonade, not booze, Woody. I wish, but I got an early morning golf lesson.
Yeah, actually, Jean Harlow, according to this, died on June 7th, 1937. She was born March 3rd, 1911. So she was only 26 when she passed away.
Wow. She died in 37?
Yeah.
She was only 26.
Yeah.
And by that time she was a huge star at then. I wonder what she died from.
Well, I'm about to look that up right now because there's a portion here on her Wikipedia page of illness and death. So she got sick with something, apparently. In January 1937, Harlow and Robert Taylor, who I'm guessing was probably her husband at the time, traveled to Washington, D.C. to take part in fundraising activities associated with President Franklin D. Roosevelt's birthday for the organization later known as the March of Dimes. The trip was physically taxing for Harlow, and she contracted influenza, so she got the flu. She
Mm-hmm.
recovered in time to attend the Academy Awards ceremony with William Powell. Okay, so I guess Robert Taylor wasn't one of her husbands. Let me just go back up real quick and see. Let's see. Partners William Powell from 1934, 1937. Her death, and her spouses included Charles McGraw, Paul Ben, and Harold Russell. So let me just read the rest of this real quick.
She had 3 husbands.
Let's see. Filming for the final film short. Okay, let's see. See, on May 20th, 1937, while filming Saratoga, Harlow began to complain of illness. Her symptoms: fatigue, nausea, fluid retention, and abdominal pain. Um, did not seem very serious to the studio doctor, who believed that she was suffering from cholecystitis. Cholecystis.
Okay.
Uh, Cholecystitis.
Cholecystitis. It's I think it's something to do with the gallbladder. It's something internal.
Okay. And influenza.
And so he immediately painted her face with radium and said, "You'll get better now." I'm kidding. That's a
The
running joke.
doctor was not aware that Harlow had been ill during the previous year with a severe sunburn and influenza. Friend and co-star Una Merkel noticed Harlow's one onset weight gain, gray pallor, and fatigue. On May 29th, when Harlow filmed a scene in which her character had a fever, she was clearly sicker than her character and leaned against her co-star Clark Gable, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
between takes and said, quote, "I feel terrible. Get me back to my dressing room," unquote. Um, so this is May 29th. So she's going down. She's going downhill here.
Mm-hmm.
You see all this. Let's see. The next day, Powell checked on her. Let's see. So she requested that the assistant director telephone William Powell, who immediately left his own movie set in order to escort her back home. The next day, Powell checked on Harlow and discovered that her condition had not improved. He contacted her mother and insisted that she cut her holiday short to be at her daughter's side. Powell also summoned a doctor because Harlow's previous illness had delayed the shooting of 3 movies: Wife versus Secretary, Susie, and Libeled Lady. Initially, there was no great concern regarding this latest bout of illness. On June 2nd, it was announced she was again suffering from. She was getting influenza quite a bit here,
Mm-hmm.
according to this. She was like, let's see. On June 2nd, it was Dr. Ernest Fishbaugh, who had been called to Harlow's home to treat her, diagnosed her with an inflamed gallbladder. Mother Jean told MGM Harlow was feeling better on June 3rd, and coworkers expected her back on the set Monday, June 7th, 1937. Press reports were contradictory, with headlines reading Jean Harlow seriously ill and Harlow recovers from illness crisis. Sounds like nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, they're confused there. To me, I mean, what I know from how I can just my little bit of medicine and diagnosing people quick as a paramedic is so she was sick, systemically sick. So it wasn't a flu. She had something going on inside of her that had her blood. She was sick
Well,
for a
she was
long time.
catching the flu quite a bit. It's like she had the flu, like, it seemed like several times in a matter.
What I'm saying is she wasn't catching flu on and off. She had something longer term that was underneath, is my guess. She was sick with something else that had her sick for a long time.
And her catching the flu was more a symptom than the actual cause.
Something like that. That's my guess.
Yeah. Let's see. When she did not return to set, a concerned Gable visited her and later remarked that she was severely bloated and that he smelled urine on her breath when he kissed her. Both signs of kidney failure. So, well, they said that she had an inflamed gallbladder there too in the earlier,
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was much worse. It was like what they're saying, like kidneys or if you're
Dr. Leland Chapman, a colleague of Fishbaugh, was called in to give a second opinion on Harlow's condition. Chapman recognized that she was not suffering from an inflamed gallbladder, but was in the final stages of kidney failure.
ketoacidosis, Woody, is actually that's a diabetic complication. That's the opposite end of hypoglycemia. And so what happens is you give up a fruity odor with the breath. Urine would be like urea buildup in the blood. That's a much worse sign.
Well, you almost have to kind of wonder how he knew that she tasted. Well, he said she smelled like urine. Okay.
He gave her a kiss and was like, oh, and she was bloated. And you can tell when someone's retaining urea, as it's called, it's very obvious. When all those smells, when bodies get bad, it's very obvious to pick up on her.
On June 6, 1937, Harlow said that she could not see Powell clearly and could not tell how many fingers he was. Wow, she's like, she's crashing here. You can just tell she was crashing at this point.
Correct.
Even me without any medical training can tell.
Yeah, you can tell it's bad.
She's crashing.
It's what you'd say, like layman's term, blood poisoning. She's systemic, like she's so infected her whole body. She's delusional now at this point.
That evening, she was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital in Los Angeles when she slipped into a coma. The next day at 11:37 a.m., Harlow died in the hospital at the age of 26.
Wow.
In the doctor's press release, the cause of death was given as cerebral edema.
Bullshit.
A complication of kidney failure. Hospital records mention uremia.
That's the buildup of urea in the blood, like I was saying.
Yeah.
You don't get cerebral edema or basically swelling of the lining around the brain from a kidney failure. That's not what happened. She went systemic, meaning she died of her own blood. It was like her whole body just became infected.
Yeah. And so basically we found out how she died. Then she,
yes, kidney failure.
Failure basically is what
horrible death. I feel kind of bad now that I know that. That's really sad. And she was so young.
Yeah, you learn. Yeah, well, it's one of those things, Batgoat. You're always going to learn something when you tune into these broadcasts, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Alice Faye was taking over some of the roles of the late Jean Harlow there.
And I think that's why we know her name after, can we say almost 100 years afterwards, that because she died so young and probably had been in so many
85 to 90 years more likely, but
and yeah, and she'd been in so many blockbuster type movies back then that it'd be like James Dean type of thing, died young.
Yeah, so let's see, where are we at on time here? Hour 20 now, so
hour
try
30.
to hurry along. I mean, well, that little history lesson on Jean Harlow, that little biographical.
Yeah, it was a little detour, but it was cool. It was cool for you and I. I learned. I hope everyone else did.
Yeah. Odd Jobs in Hollywood, number 3, Olga Celeste. The only woman, um, Leonard Tranner in I'm sorry. The only woman leopard trainer in the world. She often this is I guess Olga Celeste, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she often doubles for stars when nearness to the bears are required. She handled the animals for Cleopatra, Sign of the Cross, Queen of the Jungle, um, Jungle Jim, among many others. So I guess Olga Celeste, they brought her in to double for when they needed somebody who could handle the animals. It looks like is what they were saying there.
Yeah.
Let's see, Michael Whalen,
Burgess Meredith, huh? We all
Burgess
know him.
Meredith.
Look at
And,
that! Look at that young little upstart back in 1939. Boy, that fresh-faced little kid.
yeah, long before we saw him in both Batman, the
Wah, 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 penguin.
Penguin, and long before we saw him as Mickey Goldman in Rocky.
Correct.
And then also, I know he also had a shot on Twilight Zone as well.
He acted. He never stopped acting. He was always acting.
All the way up to his death, I believe.
Yes, prolific that man was.
Yeah. So let's see what they're saying about him here. Scored his first hit in the Broadway play Winterset, as in the case of Michael Whalenlit or Whalen. Um, it was also I get because Michael Whalen's to the left there, so you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it was also tough sledding for Meredith at the start. He had all kinds of jobs, and once worked as a clerk behind the counter of a New York department store. He is working in pictures now, but Burgess says he'll never really forsake his first love, the theater. He is fond of all kinds of animals.
That's another cool one there, Mike. I think that's so awesome. 1939, right? And we're talking about Burgess Meredith, and they're saying, man, this upstart, this young kid worked really hard, and now he's in movies. And from his quotes, he's like, yeah, I love the theater, and that's what he did his whole life. I mean, I think that's a great story.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on. There are a couple
Sure.
others, but I'm gonna move on just so we can try to get more in.
Sure, we
I
spent
know
a lot of time on that
we're
one.
already past an hour and a half, so
Yeah.
I know I should probably speed along.
Well, that's
here.
all right. Took a little detour talking about stuff.
Now here's something I know you'll wanna.
The modern plane, the plane building.
Modern planes and model building. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here with this plane. Okay, so I'm gonna. So there's that plane right there. Let's see what this plane is according to this. And Batgoat, I'm sure you might have a thing or two to say about it as well. All right, so the Phantom is a newcomer to the field of sport planes. Built by Luscombe Aircraft Corporation, it boasts all metal construction, save the fabric covering for wing and tail surfaces, with a 145 horsepower Warner engine. It hits a maximum speed of 160 miles an hour. Her clean lines present a striking appearance as she sails over the countryside with the sun glistening on her shiny metal fuselage and glossy wing surfaces. It's the dream ship of any flyer with an eye for beauty as well as a superb flying ability. To the student, a 45 mile per hour landing speed is desirable.
Mm-hmm.
So, Batgoat, is there anything you'd like to add to that, or should
It's a Luscombe. It's a great plane. That is a wonderfully great, famous, awesome plane, a Luscombe. There's several different kinds, but everything you're saying about it is true. It's a high wing.
I'm just reading what the
Yep.
text said.
It's a tail dragger. It's great for STOL, short takeoff and landing. It's still used it's not used in the drag competitions, but it's just a wonderful plane. People like have fly-ins with just Luscombes because I shouldn't say that, but when people do like the vintage fly-ins, you'll see a lot of like Luscombe style planes fly in. They're going to be earlier than like say your Cessnas, which are more popular. Cessnas, the tail draggers started coming around in the 50s, late 40s, early 50s. Luscombes.
And then here's on the model portion the Fleet Wing high performance glider right here.
Yeah, I always love that. Just they take a picture. It's just as simple as this. You're like, oh, okay.
There's a rudder, a 1/16 50 balsa. Cover fuselage with 1/32 balsa, 3-inch back from nose. They have some text on this one. Sharpen your wits as well as your tools, pals, because here is a model that will become quite some skill. Part one shows fuselage and tail plans, which call for 1/16 square balsa strips. It is best to lay out a full-size drawing of the ship before constructing. Wood strips can then be pinned down before gluings for So
do you want to share that? Can you share the screen? Share that picture I just loaded up there?
All right, well, here, let me go ahead and
I have a picture for you. And if anyone else is still here and watching, this is a 1939 Luscombe Phantom. Look at that beautiful restoration. You see the engine is so big, and that big round cowling means it's a radial engine, which you know what a radial engine means? Like the pistons are all arranged in a circle on the outside of it. Mm-hmm. So it's different than an internal combustion engine. Well, no, it's still an internal combustion engine. It's different than what's the one
I meant everybody, not every boy.
Okay.
Because I only see like one. Or I actually okay. You'd already, but anyways.
Oh, I just ended it. Yeah, I just wanted to just give a quick picture. You type in Luscombe and you're going to see a lot of those planes because it's a great old plane and people restore them and they treat them lovingly and people fly them all the time. It's a great plane.
Yeah. It does kind of look like a good recreational plane.
And it's a beautiful looking plane. I mean, it's just wonderful to see it flying too. It goes slow and it's just graceful looking.
As compared to the jets that we have today, obviously.
Yeah.
Heroes of Sport here. So we'll quick peek at this because I know we're already at an hour 38. So try to get through some of this.
Radial engine. Yes, Woody. My words were escaping me there.
Yeah, both YouTube and StreamYard saying that only one person is viewing, but I know that's not the case
because we know us is here and Woody too. Yeah. So,
K.O. Morgan, the Scotch bantamweight. K.O. Morgan is at the age of 40, leading contender for the bantam title, which I guess was pretty big. The idea of being 40 at that point was probably considered kind of like you're kind of more at the latter end of your life because
I would think so.
I
Yeah.
think back in the 30s there wasn't like the life expectancy something like still back in the 60s like people were living life expectancy was like people living into the 60s unlike today where it's like the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Late 70s. No.
Let's see. Johnny Goodman, golf champion, played left-handed during his first years of golf. The reason was that he had been given some left-handed clubs.
So he just so he just learned how to. My roommate's right-handed, but he swings left too because he just like as a right-hander, he says he gets more power out of it. So he taught himself to play golf left-handed.
Yeah. Jabo Stell of Louisiana State University, so the Tigers there, gained weight while playing football. Before a game, he weighed 168 pounds and 169 after it. So that's interesting. He actually gained weight while being active.
Okay. He probably just drank a lot of water. It's like water weight while he's playing.
Probably what it was, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you almost get the impression there, the little thing down there, that looks more like, even though I think that's supposed to be a shadow down there, it looks almost like a puddle.
No, it's supposed to be a shadow.
Yeah.
No, on the football thing there? Yeah. No, maybe it is a puddle, or is it a shadow? I'm not sure. Yeah.
A shadow, but it looks like a puddle.
Could be a puddle.
Yeah. So
back then.
Art Holton of Linfield College, Oregon, scored 302 points during a season of 22 games. So let's see. 302 points over 22 games, 151 over 11. So that would be 13.7 points per game.
Wow, that was hot stuff back then, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was.
Or a college game, anyways.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, the NBA wasn't even around yet. It would still be, I think, about another 7 years before the NBA was even established. I think the NBA was established in 19. So, as you know, too, back in the 30s, college sports were really the big thing.
Yes.
So, outside of baseball, there weren't a lot of pro sports going.
Correct. They were mostly like professional teams paid for, like a rich person would put them. They were kind of like private money type leagues, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or between cities and stuff. Yeah.
Let's see.
I think you're right though. College was much bigger than the regular sports back then.
Yeah. So this is all one person, I think, as well. I'm guessing that might be Quinn Harden.
Sure. Yeah.
Can't really tell because where they got. It could be Glenn Harden. The world's record holder of the running hurdles. He was only 20 years old when he won his first Olympics. Okay. His record-breaking time of 50.6 seconds for the 400-meter hurdles. His form and poise in skipping the hurdles has made him champion of the world.
See those two guys? Go back. Those two guys talking. They're like reporters there. Maybe you see that?
Maybe my watch is wrong. Nope, that guy's good.
Uh-huh. That's kind of funny little side joke there.
And news facts here by George. By George! Canton, China. Because Shi Kwangtong could not come from Singapore for his marriage ceremony, the bride's parents selected a handsome rooster to take his place.
Well, any port in a storm, as they say, right?
I guess so. New York. George M. Cohen says that he was the first actor to own and operate an automobile. He was arrested for exceeding the speed limit of 25 miles an hour on Broadway. Oh, imagine that. Speed limit of 25 miles an hour. Actually,
He
it's not hard to imagine because we still, in certain areas like neighborhoods, we
yeah,
have as low as 15 miles an hour. But,
he got arrested. He got arrested too.
Yeah.
No speeding ticket. They just all right. We're taking you to the clink there, Bonnie lass.
Yes. Farmingdale, New York. A new sport plane, the Pitenpole air camper.
Pittenpole.
Oh, Pittenpole?
That's how I pronounce it.
Pittenpole air camper is designed for home construction. The plane is powered with a 4T or A engine. This plane is a great success with amateurs. Wasn't there? I think we were.
I don't think that's true.
Wasn't there like attempt at kind of combining a car and an airplane?
Oh yeah, there's been tons of those, and I told you none have ever worked. They're always horrible.
Yeah, I know we talked about that before. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Island, Nevada. A civic body here has filed a complaint against the local park department. They claim that public water fountains in the parks have too much pressure and are therefore unsafe. Public water fountains, too much pressure. What? They are they thinking that people are going to be sitting on the fountain looking to launch themselves in the sky or something like that? You get that, Batgoat?
Something like that, I'm sure.
Real quickly here, just got.
Yeah.
I only did that because I got the little icon there.
Air camper, Mike. I'm wrong. Pittenpole is a very famous brand. Started in 28. Air camper is just what he called his planes, and real famous. They were smaller planes.
Oh wow, we're at an hour 47 here, so I guess we should start wrapping up then.
Okay.
Let me just see.
I'm sorry. I've been kind of BSing and we're just.
That's all right. I mean, that's part of the fun of this.
Sure, we've been having fun off-roading here. Yeah.
You know, it's not just simply about me. You know, doing like a dry read. Mm-hmm. You know, it's about the whole. It's about the whole package. It's about learning new things. It's about looking back to what things were like back then and how they were writing comics and how they were.
As sad as it is, I'm kind of glad I learned about Jean Harlow tonight. Sad and interesting to know. I probably knew that at one point in my life. I used to study. I was a mass comm major in my first college. I used to study this stuff.
All right. Well, we'll start to wrap up here. So, with that, now that we're done with that part, as I said, we're now at hour 40, coming up on an hour 49. So I think it would be a good time to start looking back to this day in each history. What would you? Let's see. Shall I do niche history first, Batgoat, or did you want to do your stuff first, like the?
While he's doing history, if people want to keep throwing guest letters, we'll do that quietly on the side while he's doing niche history. All
right, we can do that. Also, has anybody guessed any right letters, or what's it?
No, I only had one guess. I only had one guess of E. So you can do niche history, and then we'll finish up.
I'll throw in a guess right now, just to kind of get things going. E.
That's the one guess. That's the one.
E was already
correct.
What was it? What did it? Okay, what did he just put up?
And he said R. Okay.
All right, so you guys keep doing that, and I'm going to go ahead and
then remember, I have some pictures when you're done with niche history.
Okay. All right. So today being Friday, May the 20th, 2022, let's take a look back
history.
At this day in niche history. So, anyways, let me just review some things here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So let's do. All right. So, anyways, here we go. And you guys can keep playing um, Hangman while I do this. So, here's the first off. So, heading back 40 years ago today to 1982. On this date, 40 years ago today, the 290th issue of Legion of Superheroes went on sale on this date. Back in 1982, it sold for 60 cents and had a page count of 32 pages. Now this particular title started out as Superboy back in 1949, and would I think would come to an end. I think sometime in the next year or two after this, but on this date, back 40 years ago today, 290th issue of Legion of Superheroes, which started as Superboy, um, would go on sale on this date. So there we go with that one. Raw. uh,
He machine gunned a bunch of letters there, so I gave it to him.
all right. Well, what letters do you have correct thus far? O, H, and O.
That's an A. The very first one is an A, and you got
A.
two blank. Then you have an H and an A, and one more letter.
Oh, an H and an A. You have
Yeah,
A,
can you see it? I put it in the chat too.
All right. You said it was 6 letters, right?
Correct.
And it was a swear word. Well, when you said before you said that there was a second A there, I was thinking of an A word that was a swear word. But if there's a second A there, then it's not that particular word I'm thinking of. Having to do with a donkey, that is. Anyway, so let's get on to the next piece in each history here. And we now are going to 2007 here. As on this date in 2007, which was 15 years ago today, from the Scottsdale Center in St. Louis, Missouri, WWE held its 9th annual Judgment Day event there. And on that event, of course, saw in the main event of that show, saw John Cena retain his WWE Championship again over the Great Khali. MVP defeated Chris Benoit two falls. I guess that was a best of 3 match to win the WWE United States Championship. Edge defeated Batista to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, who are now in AEW, defeated Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch to retain the World Tag Team Championship. Now, here's an interesting thing. Trevor Murdoch, just recently, like towards the end of last year and into the early part of this year, actually was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion earlier this year. So as a little side note there. Bobby Lashley defeated Umaga, Shane Douglas, and Vince McMahon in a handicap match to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, but it was later he won the match, but he did not win the title because he did not pin the champion Vince McMahon. He pinned Shane, so that's what I was reading up earlier there. So on this date, 15 years ago, of course, WWE Judgment Day was held in St. Louis. Okay. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think I know
Woody already got it. Woody got it.
Oh, Woody got it?
Icons. He used the icons. Can you see the
Okay.
icons in the chat?
It's the ass hat, right?
Correct. Yeah. Bravo. Well done.
And I actually have heard people refer to Joe Biden as such.
I certainly didn't say that. I just suggest things.
All right. Now, 2007 is just so nice that we're gonna hit it twice. As
Twice.
also on this date back in 2007, the Simpsons episode "You Can't Always Say What You Want"
Kent like
premiered
Kent
on this
Brockman.
date. Huh?
Kent like Kent Brockman.
Uh-huh. This was a way for them to celebrate the show's 20th anniversary. This was the 400th episode of the show, and according to some of the things I've read about this episode, this was actually, in fact, it was also meant to serve as kind of a parody of Fox News, believe it or not.
Mm.
So this was the 400th episode of The Simpsons. Can't always say what you want. Also marking the 20th anniversary of the show, on this date back in 2007. So there we go. There's your niche history.
Very
And
cool.
of course, before we close out, of course, I know Batgoat has some.
Well, first of all, once again, for the 5th week in a row now, I think it's week number 5 of Woody. Had got 2 points, and Critical Blast had 1. Congrats, by the way, RJ.
Well, actually, yeah, I think of all the times here, I think that's actually the first time RJ has actually earned a lull point.
Correct. So we're gonna give him the little hippie 420 bus. Herbal man, that's your Lulz trophy, and then Woody, of course, gets his Dino Terror trophy.
I just wish that RJ had stayed around. I don't know if he was even aware he would have been up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always nice when he pops in like that.
Yeah. All right.
Percent of success is showing up.
I know you said you had some pictures you wanted to show everybody.
Yeah, let me let's see.
You know what? There's how I can share them for you.
Got that one?
Oh, Woody just said 90% of success is showing up.
Yeah. So I muted this. Do I need to hit play?
You should probably hit play on your end. Actually,
yeah. No, I hit play. Do you see it going now?
Yeah.
So that's my dude. That's my little peanut. That's Esley. And I was throwing you see those chains? I set up the chains and I was throwing my discs. And then I just threw one at him. Yeah, I know. It's on mute. I don't want to. The sound is like me talking. So.
Okay.
And that's what he likes doing. He likes helping. So Grandpa threw the discs and he has to pick them up and walk with me.
Yeah.
Now,
I was a little older but I remember, when I was like 11, 12, 13, I'd go golfing with my grandfather at times.
Okay.
So I was older than little. Is it Wesley or Earthly?
Esley.
Yeah. Esley.
Just like Wesley without the W. All right, let's do this now. That's from hole 17. I see how the trees are changing color, so I thought that was a cool picture.
Yeah. Yeah, you got some pink leaves there.
Yeah, they're like the pink version of a cherry blossom. Here's let's see. Here's another view from the same area on hole 17, and another one. I like that area. Kind of pretty.
Yeah, that does look kind of nice. I mean, I kind of wish I was up there, able to walk around there like that.
Here's the pond where I put a lot of discs, but if you can tell, gosh, can you see the chains in the distance? I mean, it's pretty much in the middle, across the water. If you go straight across the water, my disc is right next to the chains. I've never thrown it that close.
Yeah, I can't really see it, but
so I took a picture of that because I was very happy with myself. But yeah, I put a lot of disc in that water before, and then here's just check that out. Just what's it like cherry blossom tree just outside my back.
Actually, with that, I don't know if that's the clubhouse or whatever to the right there.
No, this is where I live. So those are the townhomes across from me.
Okay, well, that scene right there.
Yeah, this is where I live.
It's kind of funny because I've been watching the original 21 Jump Street the last few months, last
Yeah.
couple months, right? The one from '87, the one that Johnny Depp was originally in.
Yeah.
We're on the 5th season now. I'm on the 5th season now. And that scene, the picture you're showing right now, actually reminds me of a scene I saw in there. It was Peter DeLuise's, I think, last episode that he did for the show, which his character Doug Penhall had been shot, and then it ended up with him leaving the Jump Street program so he could be more of a father to Clavo, the kid he brought back from Colombia, from El Salvador. So
yeah, that's just like I say. This is just right outside my front door. And as you can tell, we're on. It's not a cul-de-sac because the street just ends right there on the lower right-hand part of your screen. You can see, and there's a hill here, and there's a main street to the left. So it's just nice. And when this blooms here, like this 2 weeks here out of the year, this tree is beautiful. So I took pictures or video of it, and I wanted to show you guys.
And Batgoat, you won't mind sticking around for at least a couple minutes after the show.
Totally cool. No problem. I'm here.
All right. So let's see. So with that, I think
you see real quick what he said.
But at the end there, nice. I had a house with a Queen Anne cherry tree in Salt Lake City, but we always got late freezes.
Yeah, this year there's 3 big trees in this neighborhood, and they were all at different times and within half a block of each other, just because it was so wet and storms over the last few weeks. So last year I remember them all blooming at the same time and being beautiful, and this year it just wasn't as good. It's so weird how touchy and weird they are.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else, Batgoat?
I think that's it. It was a great show.
Yeah,
glad to be here.
We just went a little beyond 2 hours, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, I thank everybody for being here. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. We even, granted, it may not have been a very happy thing to learn, but we did learn a little bit about Miss Jean Harlow. And I hope everybody enjoyed themselves tonight, and I look forward to having everybody back.
That's for Woody. He won a community chest card, so the bank owes him $25.
All right. All right. Well, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here on Monday. Starting next Friday, of course, we'll be starting our coverage of February 1939 with looking back to books from DC that went on sale in DC in February 39. Will be on February 1939 through the end of June. And as always, with Monday through Thursday, on normal stuff with our Niche News. So anyways, guys, I thank you all for being here. I hope to see everybody back here on Monday. Have a good weekend, and I will see you all later. Bye!